playing a team we haven't played in a real long time, making a trip to, again, as you talk about these games, this is important. This is an FCS opportunity for us to get another win under our belt against a team that has playoff aspirations. They've improved, I think, tremendously over the last 3 years on the way that they're doing things. They played two pretty good football teams. Obviously, to step up against Air Force, went out there and stood toe-to-toe with them, and then right in the mix with it all the way into the end there with William and Mary. Physical team. They play downhill on the defense with their 4 linebackers. I really like what they do with their 2 quarterbacks on the offensive side of the football. Well, the challenge is that we don't see the base three-man fronts a lot in our league, but they're starting to see more of them, Bob. In my mind, when I look at a defense from the inside out, and it starts with their linebackers. And there's 2 guys, Major Jordan and Marcos Olivius, who are very, very physical linebackers. One's 220, the other's 230. They're the 2 guys that set the edge and chase the ball from behind and make plays. I think Malik Ham, as a defensive 5 technique, as good as anybody we got in the CAA, athletic, strong. Their nose is a physical football player. And then Caleb Burr in the secondary is like having a 5th linebacker out there. So it's a stout defense. It's good size, but more importantly, a different way we've looked at it from the big people up front, saying a 4-man front, to 4 good-sized linebackers and a safety that are all very physical football players. Well, I think it's a combination of a couple of those things. First of all, I think our safeties, Horn, Stansbury, and Bush, have solidified the middle of the defense in a lot of different ways. 1, they can cover people. 2, they can run fit. And 3, they get people in the right places and right alignments. All 3 of those guys have a good understanding of how our front is supposed to fit, how the secondary is supposed to cover, and they keep everything together in there. That's really important because our 2 corners, and we're actually playing 3 right now, DT, Randall Harris, JC, Johnny Collins. They're guys that are on the island most of it for us. Hopefully can stem, the one-on-one situations out there. But the 3 safeties really do a great job in communicating the coverage, getting the fits, and getting the people in the right places. Then defensively, it starts with Nico and it starts with Eli up front. Those 2 guys, when they're causing havoc in the A's and B's gaps, we're a better defense. Again, Johnny Bowe's the position coach, and along with John Lyons, they do a great job of making sure we see a lot of tape, see a lot of things that could give us problems, or through the course of preseason in these first 2 games that we've gone through, things that we have seen that we can say, okay, this is what's happening. This is what's going to happen. We got to communicate how we want to take care of this tight formation. Do we want to do this? Do we want to play man? Do we want to send the end? How do we want to attack it? And again, Pop and Evan have played a lot of football here, guys, a lot of football. So you can sit there on the sideline or in a meeting and you can hear John, this is just like what Rhode Island did, guys. Here's what we're going to see, blah, blah, blah. This tight split, this tight bunch is what our offense did in the second week of camp. So it's great, very good for our guys to have experience, to be able to communicate it. And then I think it just, trickles down and more importantly, spreads to the other guys on the defense. Yeah, the ability to get the ball to multiple people in multiple places, Alan. I think that really makes our offense go. I think it's been a really good job by Mike, Brian, Ricky, and those guys over there figuring out what our guys do well, how to get the ball to those guys that do it well, distribute the ball by telling Brett, if it's dropping it down, if it's hitting the flat, if it's rolling out and taking a run, whatever it is take what they give us. Let's go to the next snap. Let's keep the ball in our hand, but let those guys create open spaces and make some play. I think it all starts with the offensive line as we go. And I think, when you look at it, they've been very, very good, in protecting Brett. They've been very good at giving us enough space to make some holes, to make some run plays. So we keep getting better. I thought we got better from game 1 to game 2. Hopefully we improve from game 2 to game 3. Yeah, it makes everybody practice a little bit better. Because one, they know they're going to get an opportunity to get the ball. 2, if Griffin Helm is coming in, playing his first game, it makes CJ Turner and Sean Coyne better. Why? Because that kid's producing and they want to be on the field. So competition within a position helps. Same thing with Samir Blacknall and Charles Briscoe. It's good to have good players. It's great to have competitive situations for the coaches and the kids. But the other thing that I'm really pleased with, to be honest with you, is how much they're lifting each other up, picking each other up when somebody makes a play, and not just themselves. So that's a pretty cool thing to see. We had a finger injury to Matty O'Neill in the Stony Brook game. He practiced last week, had the ability to play last week. He's got a club on the hand. David Perry and him were close going into camp. We felt that we'd give David the opportunity to play last Saturday night, and he went out and had a pretty good game. So they're both battling right now, and it looks like Perry will get a start again this week, but we expect O'Neill to play. When you look at Dylan, he's a very, very explosive football player when he touches the balls and touches the balls in the game. He can do a lot of different things. He's our number 1 kickoff returner. He's our number 2 punt returner. He can play in the slot. He can play, obviously he plays running back and does a lot of things there. He's the left end on our punt team. He's a backup on a kickoff return team. Versatile is a word with that kid, but versatile with the ability to make plays is something different. And that's what he brings to the table, Alan. He's got a lot of all-around athletic ability. He's smart, so he can understand how to fit in places and do things. And most importantly, he plays hard. So it's a good thing for us to have him doing what he's doing. Bob, you've done your research. We went down there with Columbia, and Billy Russo was coaching that team. It was my first year coaching at Columbia, and it was 58-7 before you took your Parkers off to get ready for the game. And it was a long day at the Lafayette Leopard Stadium. Great facility, I tell you. Been out there in recruiting, driven by it, gone out into it. Really, really neat place to play a football game. And a hotbed of a lot of good football out there in the Valley. Be good for a lot of our alums and family to get out there and see us playing a game.
Yeah, well, it was a great team win last week against Towson. It was a fun atmosphere overall, with the first time back in a Wildcat Stadium with all the fans and everyone back. But this week's gonna be a tough week. Lafayette played 2 tough games against William & Mary and Air Force, which William & Mary is in our conference. They're a tough, physical, fast team. I don't know about the offensive side, but the defensive side, they're once again like a physical team. So it's gonna be a tough matchup for us. Yeah, definitely from Stony Brook to Towson, I think we actually are starting to click. Most of this offensive group, we've been playing together since freshman year as on scout team, as the years go on, as the 2s or 3s and now the 1s. So now we're actually starting to click. It's just fun now, especially from game 1. It was the first game. It's the first official season back since COVID. I think it's just like the nerves started to kick in, and as Towson came along, we just played our game, which to us, that's our true potential, was that game 2. Personally, I think it's the same thing, because I think Brett and Max are both great quarterbacks for us, and they've been competing since day 1, since Max came here in that spring of his freshman year. And I think they're both almost the same player. Of course, they have different aspects to them, but really the transition was the same, because they both get those 1 reps past 2 years. So it's really just the same for us. And I think Brett was ready to go. Just get the first down, just run downhill, make someone miss. Because if I make one guy miss, I'm probably getting that first down. So if, once again, our line's been doing great. So if they block everyone, I just gotta make one guy miss. So, which if I do, once again, it's that first down. Really, it's like, to me, it's really fun, because it's not all the weight is not on your shoulders. It could be on 9 or 8 different guys with our receiving core, Los, Isaac as the other running back, even Brett running the ball. It puts it evenly distributes that weight on everyone's shoulders. So if everyone keeps playing the way they're playing, I really don't think anyone could stop us now. Well, first of all, with Mac especially, he always brings the juice. So besides that, I mean, once again, like with the receiving core with the A's, there's 3 really good slot receivers that could probably play anywhere in the FCS and start. And we got our X's and Z's the same thing, and especially with the running backs, we got 3 really good backs that can probably once again start most places. So it's, you know what, it makes it fun, and especially in the running back room, we're like really close. So off that field, we're just having a good time, but on that field, we're always competing and just having a good time.
Last week, I feel like we all played good as a defense, and the offense really stepped up, and just playing in that environment with all the fans in the stands and just everyone there, I feel like it was just such a surreal moment. And I feel like we're going to need that momentum going into this next game against Lafayette, who's like a pretty good team. They played William & Mary hard. They played Air Force hard. And I feel like we're just going to need that to play in this next week. I feel like it was a bunch of factors that kind of meshed together. The defense, the defensive line, they played really good up front, and they got a lot of pressure on the quarterback to force some interceptions. And just with the secondary, with me, Pop, and Evan in the corners, we all played tight coverage. So we forced some balls by the quarterback, and we just made plays.
Yeah, can you talk me through that play? What happened there?
I honestly didn't know it went off my foot until I saw the replay, but I was just playing tight coverage on the receiver. I came down, tried to force the incompletion, and all of a sudden I just see Pop coming out of nowhere with an interception. So, you know, that was just a good feeling and a good, like, play in the game. I feel like when I first came at UNH, I was a little bit inexperienced, but looking after those type of guys, Pop Lacey and Prince Smith and Perk, I feel like they set the standard for me and like what the UNH defense should really be and what like being a DB at UNH is like. So just seeing those people and learning from them, that kind of just really helped up my game and prepare me for being on the field now. Yeah, that moment was definitely surreal for me. It being my first career interception. The D-line got a pretty good they got pretty good pressure on the quarterback and just forced the ball. And that play, we kind of went over a lot in practice. And then just seeing the quarterback look at me, I just executed. So that was a pretty good moment for me. Yeah, for sure. I'm from New Jersey, and Lafayette isn't too far. So, you know, I'm going to have some people in the stands, you know, cheering me on. So it's a good feeling. No, it's definitely significant for me. That's my number I wore playing Pop Warner and football in Orange, New Jersey. And it's just always meant like a whole lot to me. So, you know, once that number comes on, I feel like, you know, I just play my best football. So, you know, it just means a lot to me.
Was it just because you had it when you were a kid, or was there like a reason you wanted 11? Or
No, it's because I had it as a kid.
Okay.
And yeah.
Wow.